Hello and welcome to the Pro Wrestling Personified podcast. I'm your host, Louis Carlin, and we're part of the Tap That Wrestling Podcast Network, and this is the Impact Wrestling edition of the Pro Wrestling Personified podcast. Good to be back this week. Got lots to talk about. We had a Redefined this week that took place last Thursday. In addition, Bad Intentions, Impact Wrestling Destiny Wrestling's Bad Intentions debuted for the Global Wrestling Network, or on the Global Wrestling Network. Show that I was at personally. I was there live, so I touched upon it last week, but I didn't give away any spoilers. But the show is now available on the Global Wrestling Network, so I'm going to give my full review with spoilers this week. So if you haven't seen it, I do warn you, I will be talking, well, they're not really spoilers because the show has already aired, but I will be giving away the winners and the losers. So I'll get a full review this week of Bad Intentions. Which was just a tremendous show. Before we get started, I got a few things I wanna talk about. First, a few plugs. Our Patreon page is still out there. I still don't have a patron yet. And, if you're listening to the show, I'm working on content, exclusive content that I'm going to be putting on, the Patreon page. So it's, right now it's some exclusive content. Old School Memories, a show that I'm doing called Old School Memories is on there. And I'll be adding more shows. So, feel free to check it out. Go to tapthatwrestlingpodcast.com, click on Pro Wrestling Personified, and it will you'll find the link to the Patreon page. And feel free, man. It's be $1 a month. I mean, there are different tiers, but there's a $1 tier. I think there's a $5 tier as well. But right now I'm only expecting the $1 tier. I'll be happy with that, as I'm adding more exclusive content. But yeah, check it out. The Patreon page. And I'm going to say right now, for the first person that signs up, that becomes a patron, I'm going to bring them on the show. So there you go. So I'm putting it out there right now. So the first person that becomes a patron, for the Pro Wrestling Personified podcast, I'll bring you on the show. You can talk about what you want. So I'll give you 5-10 minutes on the show. And, you can discuss anything you want. And, so there you have it. I'm saying it right now. So first person I'll bring on the show. So go ahead. If you're listening, you want to come on the show, go ahead. Yeah, just go to the Patreon page, become a patron, the first patron, and I will bring you on the show. There you go. It doesn't matter which tier, you $1 a month, $5 a month, becomes my first patron is coming on the show. There you go. Also, I want to plug a Facebook page that I recently joined. It's really, really cool. Impact Wrestling Worldwide. It's a great page on Facebook. You're going to want to check it out. I'm a member. I get a few of my friends to become members as well. It's completely positive Impact Wrestling page. Check them out. Join the group, Impact Wrestling Worldwide on Facebook. They have I'm plugging it, man. It's a great page. It's a great page to be on. I was posting, some pictures from, Bad Intentions, and it got, a lot of attention. So check them out. Impact Wrestling Worldwide, on Facebook. There you go. So check them out. And, don't want to forget me on Twitter. You can find me on Twitter at PWSOTH, and you can find Pro Wrestling Personified on Facebook as well at Pro Wrestling Personified. So check those out. Again, Twitter at PWSOTH, and on Facebook at Pro Wrestling Personified. So go ahead, check it out. All right, so let's I want to talk about things that I've been reading. So, Impact Wrestling right now, it's one of the hottest promotions right now, and they're doing the right thing, and they got a tremendous amount of talent, and they're putting on tremendous shows. But for some reason, there's still fans out there, that for some reason, I don't know why, but they're continuing to speak negatively about Impact Wrestling, and it's unjustified. They're not watching the product, but they're still talking negatively about it. Some of the things that I'm seeing or I'm reading on social media, one person saying that Impact Wrestling sucks because they tape in the same arena, they have to give out free tickets. This guy is still living in 2016. And someone's saying that this company is still in business with a question mark. Another moron indicates that, Impact, and I'm going to touch upon the heel turn later, but the team of Moose, Aries, and Cross is a ripoff, of the Shield reunion. Yeah, it's a real rip-off of the Shield reunion. Another person said, all the Impact good talent is now in the WWE. And people are saying, people were complaining about, Tessa Blanchard won the title this week. They're complaining that, the match was taped 4 months ago. Look, you guys out there, you got to get your heads out of your asses right now, okay? All you Impact Wrestling trolls, you got to take your head out of your asses. You need to get up, you need to get out of the house, walk away from the keyboard, walk away from the computer, go get some fresh air, because you don't know what the hell you're talking about right now. You don't know what the hell you're talking about. I think some of these people just are looking for some attention. Maybe nobody is talking to them on the WWE Facebook page, or nobody's talking to them on the Ring of Honor Facebook page, or whatever page they're on, so they feel they have to come to Impact and make a dumb comment just so they could interact with another person. So it's so stupid. Impact Moose, Austin Aries, and Kevin Cross is a ripoff of the Shield reunion. First of all, the Moose, Aries, Killer Cross collaboration, that was taped, and that was taped before the airing of the Shield reunion. So you could take that opinion and just throw it out the window, because it's stupid. It's stupid. Take that statement, I should say, and throw it out the window. Not opinion. It's not an opinion. It's a stupid statement. I'm just getting worked up here. Sorry. It's not a ripoff of the Shield reunion. It's so stupid. And someone's saying that Impact Wrestling is taped in the same arena and they're giving out free tickets. They're not doing that anymore. They're all over the place. They're in Toronto. They're going to Mexico City. They were in Ottawa. And they're going to New York. They haven't been in the Impact Zone for quite some time. And they're not taping things 4 months in advance. It's like 2 weeks in advance now. They're speeding things up. Yeah, in the past, maybe they might have taped stuff, 2 or 3 months in advance, but now it's like 2 weeks in advance. They're spending 2 days in specific locations, and they're taping, and then they're moving to another location, which is the right thing to do. But it's not 4 months in advance. I don't know where people are assuming this, or they're getting this from. They're not doing this anymore. And some moron saying that all the good Impact, good talent is now in the WWE. Are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? You think there's AJ Styles, Samoa Joe, Bobby Lashley, EC3, Bobby Roode, and Rockstar Spud. Okay, those are the guys I can think of right now. Yeah, they're in the WWE right now. But look at what Impact has, man. Look at what Impact has. Brian Cage, Pentagon Jr., Phoenix, Sami Callihan, Matt Sydal, Rich Swann, Austin Aries, Santana and Ortiz, Joe Hendry, Eli Drake, Tessa Blanchard, Allie, Sue Young, Rosemary. They have tremendous talent right now. OVE, the Desi Hit Squad. Don't tell me that all of Impact's good talent is now in the WWE, because that's total bullshit. Okay, it's total bullshit. It's just a stupid statement. Like I said, these guys probably aren't getting out of the house. They're home all day. No one to talk to. Like I said, they're on the WWE page. No one's talking to them. So they're going to try and stir up trouble on the Impact Wrestling page. It's stupid. It's just stupid. It's just absolutely stupid, and it quite frankly pisses me off. And someone's saying that this company is still in business, with the question when they announced that, when they wrote, Impact Wrestling on, Facebook, they said that Tessa Blanchard is the new champion. Someone said, this company is still in business? Yeah, it's still in business, and it's thriving right now. Oh, sorry, man. I'm just getting worked up, man. You gotta, it's stupid. It's in business, buddy. It's in business, and it's gonna be in business for a long time, because Don Callis and Scott D'Amore are doing a tremendous job with Impact Wrestling. You know, they're not, you're not even watching the product. These people are making comments and not even watching the damn product. It's so stupid. It's so stupid, man. Jeez, man. Yeah, and you got, and you got this other person complaining that, oh well, what's the point? What's the point of showing the match? Impact Wrestling, they already gave the spoiler. I'm talking about Tessa Blanchard winning the title. They announced it when she won the title. They said, "What's the point? You already gave away the spoiler." I will admit, I was a little upset. But I didn't realize that it was TMZ that gave away the spoiler, and it made sense. You know, getting publicity for Impact Wrestling on TMZ made sense, so I understood. But people are saying, "Why even show the match? You're giving away the spoiler." Who cares? You know, it doesn't matter. Giving away the spoiler. They got their they promoted Impact Wrestling on TMZ, which is huge. So it's understandable. But do you mean to tell me if you you're not going to watch the match because they gave away a spoiler? I think that's stupid. If you have the WWE Network, all right, and say SummerSlam from 2000, say SummerSlam from 2000. I don't know, 2015, you know the results, but you feel like watching. You're going to watch it anyway, right? You're not going to say, "Oh, I know the results, I'm not going to watch it. I'm not going to watch it again. It was a great card, but I know the results, so I'm not going to watch it." That's bullshit. You're sitting down because you got nothing else to do. You got nothing else to do. So you're like, "Yeah, I'm going to watch SummerSlam 2015, even though I know the results." So you're going to watch it. So who cares? Who doesn't matter if they announce the winner? You're still going to watch the match, and it was a really good match. I really enjoyed the match, and you know, it's a huge thing. You know, Tessa Blanchard, the daughter of Tully Blanchard, granddaughter of Joe Blanchard. You know, she's a Blanchard, and you want to see her win her first world title. It was a huge thing, so they were proud. They announced it, and they got the publicity on TMZ, and I wanted to see Tessa Blanchard win the title for the first time, win her first major world title. I know she's won many belts, and she actually holds many belts right now, but I want to see her win her first title. So don't go on Impact Wrestling page and say, "Oh, I couldn't watch the match because you gave away the spoiler." You know, just go get a box of tissues and wipe the tears away. So stupid. Yeah, and then somebody commented on it, and then he goes, "Yeah, why would I watch it anyway? Tessa Blanchard cheated to win." That's the guy really, he commented on it. He said, "Why would I even watch it? She cheated to win." You mean to tell me a heel? A professional wrestling heel cheated to win? And for this reason, you're not going to watch the match? What are you freaking, do you even understand what professional wrestling is? It's so stupid. You know, it's just stupidity, man. It's just stupidity. And that's all I gotta say. It's just, again, I'm gonna say it again, anyone who thinks Impact Wrestling is not good, they need to take their heads out of their ass, and they need to watch a few episodes. Now, that's all I gotta say. Don't live in 2015, 2016. You know, the Dixie Carter era is over. They're not taping 4 months in advance, so they're not giving away free tickets anymore. They're not taping in the same arena anymore. So, like I said, just head out of the ass. But first, go outside, take a breath of fresh air, because you probably haven't been outside for a while. But go ahead, go outside and take a breath of fresh air. Come back in, sign up for the Global Wrestling Network, watch a few episodes of Impact Wrestling, and don't worry, the first month is free. Okay, the first month is free for the Global Wrestling Network. Watch a few episodes of Impact Wrestling, and you'll see just how terrific Impact Wrestling is. All right, so that's enough on that. So actually, let's move on. September 9th, Impact Wrestling will be at MediaCon. It's going to be Impact versus the UK, which should be a really, really good event. It's September 9th. It's going to be live on Twitch. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to see it. I have a business convention that I need to go to, so I won't be able to watch it, unfortunately. Hopefully there'll be it'll be on Twitch and I can watch it at a later date. But it's going to be some of the matches announced already. It's going to be a big card. It's going to, barbed wire baseball death match between. I love the title of that, barbed wire baseball death match between Sami Callihan and Jimmy Havoc. And I'm going to predict somebody's going to bleed in this match. We have LAX, Santana and Ortiz taking on the team of Johnny Storm and Jody Fleisch. Joe Hendry versus Eli Drake, which should be a terrific one. Rich Swann versus Matt Sydal versus Trevor Lee, which should be incredible. And Su Yung taking on Lana Austin. Also set to appear Moose, Eddie Edwards, and many, many more of Impact Wrestling and UK superstars. So there you have it. So they're coming to Impact Wrestling is on its way to the UK September 9th, and it will be live on Twitch. One thing actually I want to mention, I want to go back to these internet trolls. My man BQ. I gotta shout out to my man BQ, cause he's, BQ of the Impact Lounge. He lets these guys have it, and he's fearless. He's fearless. I fight with the guys. I defend Impact Wrestling, but BQ, and I kind of leave it to BQ cause I enjoy his, I enjoy his insults. So, if you get a chance, on social media, Facebook, mainly Facebook, and if someone is bad-mouthing Impact Wrestling, BQ, if he's got the time, he usually gets on there and destroys the trolls. So check it out. It's really humorous. He has some really great comebacks for these guys, and I applaud you, BQ. I applaud you. BQ is my man. I like BQ. I like BQ a lot. And you ever get a chance to listen to the BQ, the Impact Lounge, it's all over. It's on Facebook. It's on Twitter. It's on YouTube. Check him out. BQ. He's an Impact Wrestling warrior. BQ of the Impact Lounge. Check him out. All right. So let's get into, what should we do first? Should we do Bad Intentions first, or should we do Redefined? Let's talk about Redefined. Redefined this week. It was a good show. It's a good show. The matches were really good, with the exception of one. And, I'm sorry, the Eli Drake, Brandon Tillwell thing. I love Eli Drake. Eli Drake is so talented. He could speak. He could wrestles really well. He works well in the ring. I love Eli Drake, and I don't want to start Redefined on a negative note, but I didn't care for the whole Eli Drake calling in Brandon Tillwell and Mr. Atlantis, and at first Eli Drake coming down and he runs down Trevor Lee and Caleb Conley, saying that they're not friends and blah blah blah. Then he calls in Brandon Tillwell and Mr. Atlantis, and he says it's your lucky day. One of you guys are going to have a chance against me. Which one is it going to be? And Mr. Atlantis steps up and says, I'll take you on. And Eli Drake says, I think I'll take on Brandon Tillwell. So he beats Brandon Tillwell really, really quickly. Hits the gravy train. And then Mr. Atlantis gets hit with the gravy train as well. I've never seen these two before. I don't know which promotions they work for. So, if somebody knows, if you want to let me know on Twitter or Facebook, that'd be great. I'm not sure where they're from, but think about a year back, maybe a year and a half ago, Eli Drake. I was a big fan of Eli Drake's work, and I felt that Impact Wrestling, they weren't using him to the fullest of his potential. This was about a year ago, and I was writing for Kayfabe Today, which is the Pro Wrestling Journal, and I don't know, you would see him in little tiny spots like here and there, and I kind of feel, and then he won the title, and he Eli Drake won the title, and then he got the push and everything. But I feel, and then he signs the long-term contract. But I feel, since he's come back, that we've just seen these little comedy things with him, and this nothing serious. These little, I don't know. It's just, they could do so much more, I think, with Eli Drake. I don't know if they're just waiting, if they have plans for him, and they're just waiting for one feud to end, and so Eli Drake could jump in there. But this whole thing with the Tillwell and Mr. Atlantis, I don't. What does it all mean? What is it proving? It's like, and the whole thing with Trevor Lee and Caleb Conley. I mean, Eli Drake doesn't need, like I said last week, he doesn't need to be in a faction with these guys. And of course, he did come out and say, he doesn't like them. So I guess the faction is not going to happen. So, but we thought last week that, or the weeks leading up to that, there might be a faction. But even the interacting with them, it's like, I want to see more. I want to see him do something else. I want to see him in a meaningful feud, because right now he's not doing anything meaningful. I mean, look at Tessa Blanchard. They both signed long-term deals right about the same time. Tessa Blanchard is now the Knockouts champion, and she's getting a huge push. And Eli Drake is like, hey, let's throw him in a few comedy bits. Let's throw him in a few comedy bits, and that's that. But I want to see a lot more. I want to see, like the Eli Drake Joe Hendry feud, we could have had some, but that's interesting. But the feud is, I think, could be a lot better. I think the feud, I don't even know if they're feuding anymore. It was a very, very minor feud, but I just want to see more from Eli Drake. I just want them to see them do a lot more. Eli Drake, coming out saying that he wants his title back and feud with Austin Aries. Maybe that's next. Maybe Eli Drake will jump on Eddie Edwards' side. Personally, I'm hoping it's somebody else, and I'm gonna talk about that a little later. But we'll see. I just want to see more done. I just want to see more done with Eli Drake. Yeah, I don't want to see him. I don't want to see him come out next. I know next week he's got an open challenge, which is a little interesting. Which is a little, I kind of like that. The arrogant Eli Drake saying, he has an open challenge to anybody. So that could be good if it becomes a weekly thing. Eli Drake having that open challenge, that could be interesting. I could get into that. I just hope next week, like, Mr. Atlantis doesn't come out and say, I want my shot, and then loses in 24 seconds. I hope, like, for example, when we see next week, when we see the Eli Drake Open Challenge, I'd love to see Tyson Dukes come out, Josh Alexander, Zachary Wentz come out, if it starts with Mr. Atlantis and it leads up, like, to a Tyson Dukes or something like that, now I could go for that. But let's get the ball rolling again with Eli Drake. That's all I gotta say. That's all I want to say on that. But, the opening match was freaking phenomenal. Brian Cage defending the X Division title against Phoenix. Man, I absolutely love Brian Cage, and I absolutely love Phoenix, and they work so freaking well together, and it was such a tremendous opening match. Really, really good back and forth action. It's, you started out Brian Cage using his power, to his advantage, but the Phoenix comes back with the speed. So it was a power versus speed match, and it was really, really good. I'm gonna say I think it's the best Brian Cage match Brian Cage has had since he's come into Impact Wrestling. Just a tremendous, and I'm so glad this match took place in Toronto in front of that crowd and not at the Impact Zone in Orlando, because I think they would have been flat. And here in Toronto, they were pumped up for it. You got This Is Awesome chants, you got Fight Forever chants. So I'm glad it was in Toronto. But man, I don't know. You see, Phoenix came out for a suicide dive, but he was caught in the air by Brian Cage, and Brian Cage suplexes him on the outside. Phoenix hits a springboard cutter to the ring ramp, and it was just tremendous action back and forth. And of course, Pentagon Jr. came out with Phoenix to give his brother some support. But I absolutely love this match. Absolutely loved it. Brian Cage does win the match, of course, with a super bomb off the top turnbuckle, retains the title. But the post-match was really good as well. OVE, Sami Callihan, Jake, and Dave Christa came out, attacked the Lucha Brothers, Pentagon Jr., and Phoenix. And Brian Cage is walking back. He teases like he's going to go to the ring, but then he changes his mind. He walks back. Then he stops, drops the belt, and he just runs to the ring, and he cleans house. So I loved it. I thought it was great. Looks like we're gonna have, Brian Cage is now gonna feud with OVE, or are we gonna see Brian Cage and the Lucha Brothers, and a trios match against, all of OVE? I don't know, but, no, I gotta say, deep down inside, I'm hoping Sami Callihan defeats Brian Cage for the X Division title. I'm hoping he defeats Brian Cage. That's what I would love to see. I would love to see Sami Callihan defeat Brian Cage for the X Division title. I would love to see Sami Callihan as the X Division champion. And I'm sure the match is coming. But I'd love to see Callihan as the champ. But bottom line, terrific way to open the show. I absolutely loved it. I absolutely loved the way they opened the show. We got our Global Wrestling Network moment of the week as the debut of Drew Galloway. I don't know if you remember, he made his debut. It was Grado against Al Snow, and then can't remember the name of the faction. I think it was the Beatdown Clan. I believe it was Samoa Joe, Kenny King, and Low Ki came out, and they attacked Al Snow and Grado, and Drew Galloway came out, and this was done in the UK, and the crowd went wild, but Drew Galloway kind of screwed up, and he actually he had a lead pipe, and he swung it at Low Ki and really hit him on the side of the head and busted him wide open. You saw the blood just pouring out the side of Key's head, and Low Ki was legitimately upset from what I was reading, when this happened back then. He was really, really upset. You can see he's trying to get back to the ring, but he's being held back by, King and Joe. He was legitimately pissed. But yeah, that was Drew Galloway's, his debut. It was interesting seeing that again, that they showed that. But anyway, we saw LAX. I saw about LAX they had the whole LAX thing. We find out that Little Richie, which they indicated that he died last week because you saw his eyes blinking, so it indicated that he died, but they said Little Richie is okay, he's alive, and he'll make a full recovery, which is good to hear. So there you go. So Little Richie is not dead. But there's things going on. The OGZs are talking about what happened, and Hernandez is upset, saying, he's worried about the kid, and Homicide, possibly worried about the kid, and King says that they're, I think he said they're soft, something, but then King gets a phone call, and he looked a little worried, and then he tells, Homicide and Hernandez not to make any moves until he says so. Okay, fine. Like, what moves? Like, what are they gonna, they can't have a match until he says so? Whatever. I don't know. But this is the same thing. The same thing with, and later on in the show, they went to, you saw Conan with Santana and Ortiz, and Conan got a similar phone call, and tells them not to make any move until he gives them the green light, and he says then Santana doesn't like it, and Ortiz is like, we gotta listen to Conan. He says he hasn't given us the green light to do anything. So, but anyway, so it's interesting so like there's a higher power right now who's calling Conan and King, to talk to them. So, who's it gonna be? I was reading online that it might be Vampiro. I don't know who it's gonna be, but, we'll find out. So that's what's going on. That's what's going on with this feud with, LAX and OGZ. Nobody can do anything until, they get the green light from King and Conan. I'm sorry, I don't know why I find it funny that they can't do anything till they get the green light. So, anyway, what else we got here? Lots going on. Of course, Tessa Blanchard. Tessa Blanchard wins the title. She's the no knockouts champion. And, that poor guy, that poor guy on social media who says, he's upset that Tessa Blanchard, he can't watch it because he knows the winner and that Tessa Blanchard cheated, so he can't watch. And Tessa Blanchard, the heel cheated. So it looks like he didn't, I'm guessing he didn't watch the match. He didn't see Tessa Blanchard win the title. But it was a really good match. I really enjoyed it. There's three really talented wrestlers in the ring. Allie is great. She came out with Kiera Hogan. Tessa Blanchard, I don't need to tell people how great Tessa Blanchard is. And you absolutely love Su Yung as well. And we had really good, solid back and forth action between all three. And it was great. And Tessa Blanchard wins the title. She rolls up Allie. Actually, Su Yung had the mandible claw on Allie. Allie escapes. Tessa Blanchard rolls up Allie, holds it tight, and wins the title. And that poor guy who was upset that Tessa Blanchard cheated to win probably has gone through 6 boxes of tissues by now, crying that, I couldn't watch because Tessa Blanchard cheated. I'm gonna start I know who it is. I'm gonna get the guy's name. I'm gonna send him a message on Facebook. I'm gonna send him a message on Facebook, and I'm gonna tell him I'm gonna start a GoFundMe account for him, and I'm gonna just so he could have money to buy boxes of tissues, so he could wipe the tears away from his eyes. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna start a GoFundMe account, so he's able to go out and buy as many boxes of tissues that he needs to wipe away the tears that Tessa Blanchard has cheated to win the knockout championship. So we're gonna start that after the show. But I'm gonna put a clause in that he can only spend the money on tissues to wipe away the tears from his face. He can't spend it on He can't spend it on anything else. I was going to say something. I have something in my head, but I'm not going to say it. But anyway, he has to spend it on tissues. But Tessa Blanchard, that's a great choice. I hope she's a dominant champion. I hope she has the belt for a long time. She deserves the title. Tessa Blanchard said no to the WWE. She came to Impact Wrestling just to prove that you don't need to go to the WWE to make a good living. She's the Impact Wrestling champion. I'm happy to see her as champion. It's a great representative to hold the Knockouts title, and I hope she has that title for a very, very, very long time. She deserves it, and she deserves to be champion I would keep the title on her for over a year. Make it seem like who's going to knock off Tessa Blanchard. She's that damn good. I would keep the title on her for over a year. Maybe, Kim come back and try to get the title back, have one more title run, one more match, and lose to Tessa Blanchard, of course, but keep the title on her for a very, very long time. I can't say anything else. It's just tremendous talent there, and she's very, very, very deserving of the title, as I've said already. I don't want to keep repeating myself, but I'm going to, because Tessa Blanchard is very, very deserving of the title, and in my opinion, she's one of the best wrestlers in professional wrestling today. And notice I didn't say women wrestler. I said one of the best wrestlers in professional wrestling today, Tessa Blanchard. And she's got a great father to teach her the ropes and give her advice. So she's learned well, and like I said, I want her to hold that title for a very, very long time. Well, congratulations, Tessa Blanchard. Congratulations. She still, and from what I read after she won, it wasn't shown, but after she won, she called her dad. She called Tully Blanchard, and they spoke about it. So it was a good moment for Tessa Blanchard. Good moment, her first major world title. So again, congratulations, Tessa Blanchard. What else we got? What else we got here? Rich Swann. Ooh, Rich Swann makes his comeback, and he defeated Petey Williams in a really, really good back and forth, match. Again, another really, really good match. Really enjoyed this match. I love Rich Swann. Very talented. He's another guy that signed another long-term contract, with Impact Wrestling, and he's, getting that push. He's getting that push in the X division. He had the concussion, but he's back now, and it was a great match against Petey Williams. It could have gone either way, but Rich Swann does win the match, and he moves on. And we saw actually backstage he was talking about the X division, that he wants a shot at the X Division title. And, oh, by the way, he won the match with a running shooting star press, which was really impressive, to defeat Petey Williams. And again, it could have gone either way, but, Swann does win the match. And as I was saying, he was in the back, talking about, the X Division title. Matt Sydal comes out, interrupts him, says he could help Rich Swann open his third eye, that he could guide him, and Rich Swann basically turns him down, and doesn't need his help. And then that's when we saw Moose was laid out with Killer Kross calling card, with what is that? Whatever, he did the calling card. I can't think of the symbol that's on there. It's the bullet, the bullet thing, the bullet thing, the target, the bullet target, whatever it is, the bullet target on there. I don't know why, whatever. But they had the card next to him, so indicate that Killer Kross has taken out Moose, which would have left Eddie Edwards by himself. Cause we have the main event tag team match, Austin Aries and Killer Kross was scheduled to take on Moose and Eddie Edwards. But no, Moose is taken out, and Austin Aries and Killer Kross, Eddie Edwards has to go at it alone, and we have a really good match. Eddie Edwards holds his own, and it looked like we had the Eddie Edwards of old, and he wasn't the psychotic, loose cannon Eddie Edwards. He's like kind of like he forgot about that, and he's back to the American Wolf, Eddie Edwards, and he was doing well. It was a good match, good act. He was holding his own, and finally, Moose comes walking out, and his head is bandaged, and he goes to the ring apron, and Eddie Edwards finally tags the Moose, and here's this. I did not see this coming at all. And this is why I don't watch spoilers, or I don't read spoilers, because spoilers are stupid. I did not see this coming at all. Austin Aries goes to tag Killer Kross. Killer Kross jumps down and gives an evil grin to Austin Aries, and I'm thinking, wow, Killer Kross is already turning his back on Austin Aries. And I thought Killer Kross is going to leave the ring, leave the arena, but then Moose attacks Eddie Edwards, and I'm thinking, holy shit, I didn't see that coming at all. And Moose spears Eddie Edwards, and turns full heel. He joins the team of Austin Aries and Killer Kross, and we have a new faction now: Austin Aries, Killer Kross, and Moose, and they just totally destroy Eddie Edwards. They beat him down. They put a chair around his head, and then Moose, I think he had a baseball bat. Hit him with a baseball bat and laid him out. Whatever it was, they laid him out. Alicia comes in to check on Eddie, her husband, and then she just slaps Moose, and Moose looks like he's going to go after Alicia, but he just smiles, and that's how the show ended. So Moose turns heel. Again, man, I didn't see this coming. I didn't see this coming at all. This is why you shouldn't read spoilers. And for people that are on, Facebook saying, "Oh, well, you gave away the spoiler." Don't read the spoiler. Don't just avoid him. Don't go if you're going onto a wrestling page like ProWrestling.net and it says spoiler alert. Don't read the damn spoiler. That's why I stay away from them. I didn't see this coming, and it was great to see. Really refreshing to see. It kind of shocked me when I saw it. Moose. Moose is the perennial good guy in Impact Wrestling. He wants to be Mr. Impact Wrestling. He wants that title for the first time. But now he turns, if he can't beat him, he's gonna join him, right? That kind of scenario. So he turns on Eddie, and we have a new faction. And it's not a rip-off of the Shield. It's not a ripoff of the Shield. It has nothing to do with the Shield, but Moose, Killer Kross, Austin Aries. And next week, apparently we're going to hear from Moose, and he's going to explain why he turned on Eddie Edwards. Now this opens the door for Eddie Edwards to look for some help and for Davey Richards to come back. I'm hoping to see that. I'm hoping to see Davey Richards come back, and join Eddie Edwards. And the American Wolves will ride once again. And maybe, they need a third guy. Maybe they'll bring in Tommy Dreamer. So, I know he had issues with Tommy Dreamer. So Eddie Edwards, maybe that spear is waking him up and he's gonna see the light and realize that he's been wrong all along and, going nuts and alienating himself from Tommy Dreamer and his wife. And, but even if it's not Tommy Dreamer, I'm really hoping Davey Richards comes back and, we get an American Wolves reunion. I'm thinking we're gonna see it. And, I'm hoping it happens. And, two more things I want to discuss. One, Gama Singh just literally beat the piss out of the Desi Hit Squad. He beat them with a broom. I know they've been on a losing streak lately, and I understand why they were on a losing streak, so Gama Singh could kind of beat them down and kind of toughen them up. So, I like this segment, and I know next week, they're taking on Joe Hendry and Grado. Desi Hit Squad has to win that match, and I'm thinking there's no way they're gonna lose that match. So I'm picking Desi Hit Squad to win that match, but, Gama Singh, he's beating the hell out. There's supposed to be two other Desi Hit Squad members. I'm thinking that maybe Rohit Raju and Gursinder Singh aren't getting the job done, and he brings the other two in to feud with this Desi Hit Squad, or he brings them. I don't know. Well, let's see what happens. But with the Desi Hit Squad, but I like this segment. I like the way this whole thing is playing out, and I'm very interested to see what happens next week. And I mentioned Joe Hendry and Grado. Now, Joe Hendry, Grado, and Katarina were on the Smoke Show with Scarlett Bordeaux. Excuse me, I'm losing my voice. Give me 1 second. They were on the Smoke Show with Scarlett Bordeaux. I'm sorry, but this was awful. This was absolutely awful. The whole segment was awful. I didn't like it at all. I don't know what's going on with the Smoke Show with Scarlett Bordeaux. When she first came out and insulted Alicia Atout, I thought that was really good. I thought that was excellent. The second week, the second time we saw her on the Smoke Show, that was the first Smoke Show with Falaba and KM. I thought that was entertaining. Not because of Scarlett Bordeaux, but because of Falaba. That was highly entertaining. Falaba is highly entertaining. This week, it was awful. I'm sorry. This whole Grado, whispering in Grado's ear and he shakes the water, and then just, it was awful. It was awful, and that's all I'm gonna say about it. I don't know how long the Smoke Show with Scarlett Bordeaux is gonna last, but I thought it was awful. And I'll say it again. I thought it was awful. And that's how I'm going to leave it. I'm going to leave it at that. And that's it. That was it this week for Redefined. Like I said, it was a good show. The matches were really good. That they had, with the exception, of course, of Eli Drake against Brandon Tillwell. But everything else was really good. I really enjoyed it. And I'm looking forward to next week. I know next week we got the Eli Drake Open Challenge, as I mentioned. I think they announced Tessa Blanchard defending against Su Yung next week as well, so that should be a good one. I don't think they've announced any other matches, and of course, they've announced that Moose will explain why he has turned on Eddie Edwards, so that's something to see next week. And that's it. That was it for Redefined. Now it's on to Bad Intentions. Now, Bad Intentions is on the Global Wrestling Network. It's a one-night only event. Was taped the 25th, August 25th. Let me see. Was it the 25th? was taped August 25th in Mississauga at the Don Kolov Arena, or it was a Don Callis Arena for half the show, but it was at the Don Kolov Arena. And I was at the show, and I know if you listened last week, I mentioned I was at the show, and I shared a lot of pictures on my Facebook page as well as Impact Wrestling Worldwide, so you could check out those pictures. And I'm proud to say that I am in the opening. I'm on TV a lot actually, but I'm in the opening segment when they showed. I'm there clapping, and I'm on there, and you see me on there. I'm a star, baby. I'm on the show. I'm on the show a lot. So if you're watching, I'm way at the, when you watch the match, the way the camera angle is, you can see me. I'm way at the, on the far right side, first row. There, you can see one guy wearing a red cap backwards. I'm the guy sitting on the right side of him, wearing a black sweatshirt. But anyway, let's get on with the show. I spoke about the show last week. I didn't give away spoilers, but since it's been aired, I'm gonna talk about each match briefly and let you know who won, and then we can wrap this up. All right, so Bad Intentions. Opening match was OVE against the Desi Hit Squad, which was a outstanding opening match. Love the Desi Hit Squad. Those are my guys. Actually, I met Gursinder Singh there, and I couldn't help myself, and I bought a Desi Hit Squad shirt. So he's a really, really nice guy, Gursinder Singh. But this was a great match. Good back and forth action between the two teams. I was rooting for the Hit Squad, but unfortunately it was OVE that was victorious in this one. OVE defeats the Desi Hit Squad in a really, really, really good, a tremendous opening match in my opinion. Great back and forth action. Great back and forth action between two of these talented teams. Second match, Channing Decker against Clayton Gaines, two up and coming wrestlers, and they gave us a really good back and forth action. I really, really enjoyed it. Channing Decker is a very, very talented wrestler, as is Gaines. They have a lot of potential. I really enjoyed this match. It wasn't a great match. It was a good match, but I enjoyed it. I've never seen these two guys in action, and it was really good and refreshing to see two very talented up-and-coming wrestlers, and that's what we got here. Third match was Phil Atlas with his manager. I think it was Pasquale Di Papa, I think it was the guy's name, as his manager, and he took on Greg Osborne, aka Sam Osborne, but he's Greg Osborne for Impact Wrestling. And this was another really good. I'm a big fan of Greg Osborne. I think the guy is a tremendous wrestler. Another guy that has great potential. And it was a really good match. Rooting for my guy Greg Osborne, but unfortunately it was Phil Atlas who gets the victory over Greg Osborne. Great stuff. You got Channing Decker, Clayton Gaines, and Greg Osborne. Three really talented wrestlers that were on the card. Three really talented up-and-coming wrestlers that were on the card that have a lot of potential. And it was great seeing them now because they're gonna, they have potential to get to the Impact Wrestling main roster and beyond. So it was really, really cool seeing them. Then we had our first ladies match, first knockouts match. It was two scoops. Casey Spinelli, going one-on-one with, the girl on fire, Kiera Hogan. Another really, really good match between two very, very talented wrestlers. Really enjoyed it. Kiera Hogan is victorious in this one, as is expected. I know she's getting a little push right now in Impact Wrestling. It was good back and forth action. Could have gone either way, but Kiera Hogan does get the victory here over Casey Spinelli, and I am proud to say that I did give a high five to Kiera Hogan as she was circling the ring before the match. So I gave her a high five. I got some really good shots of Kiera Hogan as well. Again, you can check them out on Impact Wrestling Worldwide on Facebook, or I posted a whole bunch of them on my Twitter page at PWSOTH. But yeah, check them out. Actually right now, if you go to Impact Wrestling Worldwide on Facebook, you can see them. I've been posting them one by one. It was good to see. I'm a big fan of Casey Spinelli. It's really good to see her live as well. Very talented. I don't know why Impact Wrestling hasn't signed Casey Spinelli to a contract. A very, very talented wrestler there. Then we had a triple threat. My guy, Aiden Prince, taking on Ace Austin and Dustin Quicksilver. Dustin Quicksilver, you might remember him as Dustin Cameron, who had a one-on-one match with Austin Aries not too long ago on Impact a few weeks back. And Aiden Prince, my guy, Aiden Prince wins the match. Now, this match was supposed to be for the New Era championship, but it wasn't. I was given the reason why it wasn't, and I'm not gonna say why. I'm not sure if I have the right to say why, because they didn't really announce it during the show. So I'm just gonna leave it at that. I'm not gonna announce why. But Aiden Prince does defeat Ace Austin and Dustin Quicksilver. Really, Aiden Prince. Aiden Prince, he another wrestler who took on Austin Aries on an Explosion a few weeks back in a really good match. And I actually met him. I actually gave him a high five when he's headed to the ring, and I met him after the show. He was going out to get something to eat with Stone Rockwell, and I saw him and I spoke to him for a bit, and he's actually going to be, I secured an interview with Aiden Prince. So Aiden Prince, will be on the Pro Wrestling Personified podcast coming up in a week or two. I got an interview coming up with Aiden Prince. I haven't recorded it yet, but Aiden Prince will be on the Pro Wrestling Personified podcast. But terrific match. Aiden Prince, I thought he looks like he hurt his knee after the match. He's holding his knee, he limped out. So hopefully everything is okay with Aiden Prince. After that, Stone Rockwell defeated Holden Albright. Albright, he came out with a wolf mask, which was I thought it was a little goofy at first, but it seemed a little cool. And Stone Rockwell, very entertaining wrestler. He worked with the mask. He cuts a really good promo. Very entertaining, Stone Rockwell. But Stone Rockwell does defeat Holden Albright. Holden Albright is another very talented young wrestler who has a lot of potential. So it was really good to see that match. Good to see him in action as well. But Stone Rockwell, and I did meet Stone Rockwell as well. I got to shake his hand. I met a lot of the wrestlers there. He's a really cool guy, Stone Rockwell. Shook his hand. Very cool guy. But he does this night defeats Holden Albright. And I don't know if he's under contract with Impact or not. I know he's got on Twitch. He does a show for them on Twitch. But I'd like to see him. I like to see them sign Stone Rockwell. Yeah, really cool guy. And then Impact Knockouts title, Tessa Blanchard taking on Giselle Shaw, and it was an honor to get to watch Tessa Blanchard defend the Impact Knockouts title. Giselle Shaw was a really good challenger. She has it, man. She's very freaking talented, man. And that's one wrestler that Impact Wrestling needs to sign. You had Casey Spinelli and Giselle Shaw. They add these two to the Impact roster full time, man. And Impact, the knockouts, so they'll be untouchable. There won't be a better women's division in professional wrestling, if they sign. I mean, it's so tremendous now, but if they get Giselle Shaw, Casey Spinelli signed to a contract, wow, Jesus. So, I'm sorry, I don't mean to use his name, but good gosh, man, that would be tremendous, man. She brought it. She brought her A game to this match with Tessa Blanchard. And Tessa Blanchard, I've already praised her. Everyone knows Tessa Blanchard. She doesn't need any praise. She's tremendous athlete. And we had a tremendous match here for the Impact Knockouts title. But Tessa Blanchard, of course, successfully defends the title against Giselle Shaw in a great match. I absolutely loved the match. Giselle Shaw, wow, very talented, very talented individual. And Impact, Callis, D'Amore, they need to sign Giselle Shaw, sign Casey Spinelli already, please. Just do it. And on that note, sign Aiden Prince as well. You know. Man. And then we had from New Japan Pro Wrestling, Michael Elgin. I was really excited to see Michael Elgin live. Go 1-on-1 with Petey Williams. And what can I say? I praised this match last week. This was probably the best match of the whole show. Absolutely loved it. Great back and forth action. Michael Elgin is just tremendous, as is Petey Williams. And when you get the two together in the ring, and it's pure magic, and that's what we got here. Just a tremendous one-on-one match between the two. And this was one of my matches of the month for Kayfabe today, by the way. Absolutely loved it. Michael Elgin does win the match, defeats Petey Williams. And they hug after the match, and the crowd is chanting, please come back to Michael Elgin. And I hope he does come back, because he's one hell of a talent, Michael Elgin, as is Petey Williams. And then the main event, steel cage match for a shot at the Destiny title, which is currently held by WWE UK champion Pete Dunne, Josh Alexander against Sami Callihan. This was a war. Sami Callihan hit Josh Alexander with a garbage can over the head. By the way, Josh Alexander slapped my hand going to the ring. Just wanted to point that out. All right, I'm back. So I had to take a quick pause as my daughter was calling me. I recorded this in the basement. She was calling me. I had to go help her. So I had to hit the pause button for a second. So I apologize. But I was talking about Sami Callihan and Josh Alexander. I don't remember exactly where I left off, but we'll start from, they had the main event was in the steel cage. This was an absolute war. This was an absolute war between these two guys, and Josh Alexander was busted wide open, and it wasn't supposed to happen. You know, Josh Alexander has his headgear. Sami Callihan, hit him over the head with a garbage can, busted him wide open, and Josh Alexander was a bloody mess. And the Destiny Wrestling owner or CEO or owner George Menezes, and I hope I pronounced his name correctly, but he was legitimately concerned. He does the announcing, and he went to because I was sitting right by the cage door, which, by the way, Johnny Bravo was blocking my view for much of the match, but I just wanted to point that out there. But he was legitimately concerned, and you could see the concern on his face, and I really admired that he showed legitimate concern for Josh Alexander, because he was just sliced open, and blood was just pouring. Blood was all over the ring mat, and I spoke with George Menezes, and again, I'm sorry if I pronounce your name incorrectly, but I actually not speak, but I spoke with him on Facebook. I let him know how I felt about the show. We were talking about Josh Alexander, and I told him that I really appreciated that the legitimate concern that he showed for Josh Alexander, and he said safety first. And I appreciate that. I know, Josh Alexander hung in there for a while, and he did a tremendous job with that huge cut. But when all was said and done, I should say, Josh Alexander was the winner of the match. But the doctor jumped in there right away, and they cleared a path for Josh Alexander, and they got him out of that ring. And he apparently spent the night in the hospital. They got all stitched up, but I understand that he's doing fine. He's okay now, which is really good. Glad to hear that. But Josh Alexander earns a shot at the next Destiny show against Pete Dunne for the Destiny Wrestling World Heavyweight Championship. I would love to go to that, but unfortunately, I'll be in Windsor. The show is on October 7th. I'll be at the one night only Impact one night only show, Border City Wrestling 25th anniversary show on October 6th. So I won't be able to make it back to Toronto for that. So unfortunately, I'm going to have to miss that. But a great card, just a terrific card from open to close. And very fortunate that I was able to get there. Great show, great match. All the matches were great, I should say. Anyway, that's it. That's going to be it for this week, I think. I'm losing my voice. I'm so excited. I had a 4-hour drive today from Toronto back to Windsor, so I'm a little tired. So I'm going to wrap it up. I'm going to say thank you very much for listening. My name is Lewis Carlin. This is the Pro Wrestling Personified Impact Wrestling Podcast. Until next week, take care. Bye-bye. Thanks for listening again this week, and stay safe, everybody. So long. Bye-bye.